So why might this year in particular be the year that Ipswich achieve promotion? Well, let's just say that they have made their intentions clear in the transfer market. The idea behind these appointments is that with experience in running a club and also a hands-on approach, this is the key to success. It seems only a matter of time before the good times are back at Ipswich Town Football Club.
But I see it better now, 'cause everything you do only says you gotta figure it out.
What's up guys, George Lyons here and welcome back to The Rounds on the Soccernomics YouTube channel. As usual guys, before we hit off today's episode, just got to let you know to hit that subscribe button if you are new. If you like football content that covers the economics and the finance side behind football, then this is the channel for you. So hit that subscribe button and continue watching. Alright, so let's talk about Ipswich Football Club. Ipswich Town Football Club have a huge history that rivals that of some of the biggest clubs in the Premier League. Much like Nottingham Forest, Derby County, Sheffield Wednesday and like Sunderland, they are very much sleeping giants in the modern age. Although Town won the English Division 1 title in the 1961-62 season, their best years came in the late 70s and early 80s, coming runners-up in the 80-81 season and 81-82 season. They won themselves an FA Cup in the 77-78 season and also got themselves a European title, winning the UEFA Cup in the 80-81 season. It's also worth mentioning that in every European competition that they have entered, Ipswich Town have remained unbeaten at home, beating the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, AC and Inter Milan. Unfortunately for Ipswich Town, their golden years happened to coincide with some of the biggest clubs in English football history, such as Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, who themselves achieved huge European titles and domestic ones as well. In modern times, however, Ipswich Town Football Club have been less familiar with success as they have fallen further out of relevance as the Premier League has risen. A whole generation has passed since Ipswich have been a Premier League club, and that was 20 years ago, which in itself was only 2 years. It's certainly a big club looking to be revived, but let's be honest, they really aren't the only ones. They currently find themselves in League One, which for Town is nothing short of a huge disaster. Let's be honest, a club of this size really shouldn't be finding themselves in the third division of English football, and this just comes down to the fact that after 17 consecutive years in the Championship, the club just stagnated, and with mismanagement, the drop was inevitable. All was looking rather bleak for the club up until about April 2021, when the club announced that the US company Game Changer 20 Limited were purchasing a major stake of the club, roughly about 89% for £40 million, with the remaining 11% continuing to be fan-owned in what is known as the Ipswich Town PLC. Game Changer 20 Limited is a company that was created solely for the purpose of purchasing Ipswich Town Football Club. The consortium is 90% owned by US investment fund Org, with the remaining 10% evenly split, with Marcus Evans, the previous owner of Ipswich Town, taking 5%, and the Three Lions Fund, which is a fund created of 3 board members of the US football club Phoenix Rising FC. Despite the new ownership structure, their influence on the club will not be direct. They have instead appointed a chairman in former West Bromwich Albion CEO Mike O'Leary, who will oversee the running of the club. They have also appointed a CEO in former Bristol City CEO Mark Ashton, who will be in charge of all aspects of the club. The idea behind these appointments is that with experience in running a club and also a hands-on approach, this is the key to success. The goal for the club is of course achieving promotion out of League One within the next 1 or 2 years, and after that be challenging for Premier League promotion within the next few years after that, which is of course positive aspirations, but the reality is this is where the club feel like they should be at a bare minimum, especially given the heritage of the club. So why might this year in particular be the year that Ipswich achieve promotion? Well, let's just say that they have made their intentions clear in the transfer market. Despite finishing 9th last season, just missing out on the promotion playoff spots, they actually only had a goal difference of 0, scoring only 46 goals all year. That is in fact the 3rd lowest out of the entire division. So of course it was key that the club paid some attention to the strike force and invest in that area. So they only went and signed Joe Pigott from AFC Wimbledon, who scored 20 goals and 5 assists last season. And that was on a free, by the way. They also signed Scott Fraser from MK Dons, who scored 14 goals and got 6 assists last season from midfield, which is very impressive. They also signed Connor Chaplin from Barnsley and veteran striker Sonny Aluko from Reading in the hopes that they can bring some goals by dropping down a division. It's also worth mentioning that to shore up the attack, Town have also signed Louis Barry, who is a highly rated player from the Aston Villa Youth Academy on loan for the season, as well as Macaulay Bone on loan from QPR. To strengthen the midfield, especially given a few departures such as Andre Dezelle, along with Scott Fraser, a number of players such as Raheem Harper from West Bromwich Albion has signed, along with Lee Evans from Wigan, who will now reunite with his former boss Paul Cook. Defence is also an area that needed some improvement, especially given the loss of experienced player Stephen Wood, so they went on and signed Wes Burns from Fleetwood Town, who although is a winger, can also play as a wing-back. They also signed Matt Penny from Sheffield Wednesday and centre-back George Edmondson from Rangers. Ipswich Town have also got a new goalkeeper with the arrival of Václav Hladký, who I think I pronounced that correctly, and he arrives from Salford City. A very impressive transfer window for Ipswich Town as they look to achieve promotion out of what is a very long season in League One, and that's also without having to splash the cash, as well as Ipswich Town, like every other club in the English Football League and the rest of the football pyramid, have been struggling, especially down to the pandemic, as revenues have taken a huge hit. It's important for the club as well to continue following their philosophy, which is of course promoting youth and recruiting smartly. This is something that's worked for the club for decades. It's also important for the club to continue to be a club that's well connected with the community and their fans. CEO Mark Ashton even said it himself that the real owners of the club are the community and the fans, as they're going to be there long after the owners of the club. So it's important that they look after these people and of course the club. And they're certainly doing that on and off the pitch with redevelopments and improvements of the club stadium Portman Road, which Mark Ashton feels is a huge priority for the club's success. Despite a lot of changes and a lot of new faces on and off the pitch, this does not necessarily mean that this is going to bring instant success to the club. This is not a quick fix, yet more of a steady rebuild, as the club look to reinforce those foundations that seem to be neglected over the past few years. It will take some time for the players to gel and start seeing some results, but so far so good for the fans. And to be honest, it's not often that a fan can say that their club is in good hands and moving in the right direction. It seems only a matter of time before the good times are back at Ipswich Town Football Club. Well, yeah, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Of course, it's a little bit niche and something a little bit different. I could have been covering Lionel Messi, but let's be honest, everyone is doing that these days, so nice to have something a little bit different on YouTube. If you did like today's episode, hit the like button. Comment your feedback as well if you want to. Hit the subscribe button if you are new, guys, of course. If you like this sort of content, we need you to hit that subscribe button. We are on a hell of a ride at the moment. We've got massive growth on the channel, which is great to see. Thank you so much, guys. But apart from that, I'll catch you soon.
Being a stranger to what we lost, I'll keep my guard down and hope it comes back around, cause I still just feel like you and I are gonna keep running in circles till we find out all we need is each other.